Hello and welcome to episode 17 of my Genoa playthrough. We're in a bit of a sticky situation. We have a coalition of Milan, Savoy, I'll show you now. We have a coalition of Milan, Savoy, Urbino, Mantua and Ferrara against us. So it's not great. We know that. Our next target, I feel, is down here because we can attack people. We can attack Tunisia and Morocco specifically, without getting any sort of aggressive expansion up here. I think it is some sort of aggressive expansion, maybe 3 or 4 opinion hit, which takes maybe 2 years to get rid of. So I'm not too worried about that. I don't think we have a casus belli against Tunisia at the moment. No, we don't. We only have a casus belli against the Hansa, Novgorod, Venice, and Urbino. Urbino is I think they're allied with Hungary, aren't they? Allied with Hungary, so I'm not going to attack them. That's for sure. I'm going to have to fabricate some sort of claims against Tunisia, I think. Although they're allied with the Mamelukes and the Ottomans, and the Ottomans and the Mamelukes scare me. They are both massive. Okay, they're just huge. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. What I could do is offer them a loan, or offer Morocco a loan specifically, because they have no allies. If I offer Morocco a loan, right, we'll try it. So do you want... So Morocco, so they're not going to do it because they don't like me. Relations, we'll improve relations with them just until we get to, I think it was above -50 or something. Well, it could be now, but we'll do it for another month. We'll improve relations with Morocco, and then we'll be able to offer them a loan. And once the loan has expired, actually, once we give them a loan, they accept it. They can either accept it and then not pay it back, or they can accept it and pay it back, quite obviously. So we want them to accept it and then refuse to pay it back. Loan will cost too much too soon, so less interest. Maybe, I don't know, 1. Loan will cost too... Expiration date is too soon. Right, loan will cost too much too soon. What do they want? So they want a loan. They will accept a loan of 65 or 64 actually. They will accept a loan of 64 gold at a rate of 7%. So we're going to do that. And then, how long did it say it was? There should be a stable government. Several of the leading members of the government are deeply worried. We can lose administrative power, or we can lose prestige. Administrative power, of course, because that's a hell of a lot easier to build back up than prestige. So these guys have a loan from us. How long was this loan for exactly? I've forgotten already. Actually, we need to reduce inflation. To be honest, we really need to reduce inflation. I think we can hire an advisor for that. Actually, no, maybe not at the moment, but we will be able to at some point. We can hire a military advisor, which could be advisable. Advisable. Yeah, we're going to hire a master recruiter, so that means our maximum manpower goes up. Also will cost us, like 1.6 gold monthly, but I'm not too worried about that. So we have to live in hope that Morocco will not pay us back our loan. I do wonder how you keep track of loans. Maybe in the history, maybe in economy, in loans. There we are. So that expires on the 19th of the 6th, which is July. I'm guessing. Wait, January, February, March, April, May, June. Okay, that's June. It expires in June of 1455. We will then declare war on them if they refuse it, or we will, rake in the cash if they, pay it us back. I like the look of Algezer. Right, which province would we like really? The highest base tax value. It's usually their capital, so I wonder where that is. Marrakesh. It's not their capital this time. It's one of either Quetta or Tangiers. They both have a base tax value of 8, and I can't find any with more than that. So if we did go to war with them, we'd take those two, or maybe just Algezer because it's closer to us and it is also in the Tunis trade node, which is where we want to build power, isn't it? Come on, please be really, really bad. And refuse to pay the loan. Nobility concerned with the loss of privileges, so I can either lose army tradition, which is at 33 point. I think we're going to lose army tradition. Stability costs too much to replace. Crimea declared war upon the Golden Horde. That could be advantageous to us. Why would Crimea, which is that two-province country, why would that declare against the whole Golden Horde? It seems silly, really. Tribal feud and the Golden Horde have vassals. It just seems very silly. I'll let them fight it out, I suppose. I would expect Crimea to get eaten up after this war, if I'm honest. Although, I see why they did it. The Crimea is allied with the Ottomans. And the Ottomans are this huge sort of light green blob here. They always get massive. I haven't yet had a game where the Byzantines, who start off just owning Constantinople and southern Greece, I haven't yet had a game where they've actually stayed alive for more than maybe 40 years. They always seem to get completely obliterated by the Ottomans, which isn't surprising, is it, when they're that massive? I would expect at some point Hungary to go to war with the Ottomans. I'm not quite sure when. We'll have a look. My Doge. Venice declared war against their new enemy Ferrara, which is this tiny place. Now, Venice are just going to eat up Ferrara. There's no question about that, really. After that, because do I have a claim on Ferrara? Let's have a look. No, I don't. Ferrara will completely cease to exist if Venice eat them up. I really would like to go to war with with Venice, because they're only allied with Switzerland, which is sort of this browny thing up here, which is actually goes up to what? Oh, it's only a 4 province. It's just Bavaria looks very similar. We are going to change our candidate to a military candidate. That's fine. We want to get our Republican tradition up to 100 before we keep anyone for any length of time. So yeah, so Switzerland, this 4 province place here, so they're not too big really. Savoy is this sort of light pink country, and they are of a reasonable size, not to be trifled with really. And Tuscany, which is just a 3 province country down here, I'm not too worried. Now Austria have got called into the war with Ferrara. I'm not quite sure why that is, but I think it's because Ferrara are in the Holy Roman Empire, so Austria feels obligated to defend them. I wonder how this battle turns out. Venice actually has a quite amazingly massive army for how small it is. It's only a 3 provincer. Actually, they have... Yeah, so they have more provinces down here. 3 more provinces. But not enough to mean that they have an army which can take on Austria. I'm quite surprised at that. They are going to win. Maybe, I think, actually. Well, not sure. Austria does have a... It's a bit like France in the respect that it has very high military tradition, seemingly all the time. And so they get really, really good war leaders. That's always a bad thing about France. We're gonna... We have too many leaders, so we're gonna kick our admiral, Giannettio Bonaparte. That's interesting. It's like Napoleon. Okay, so we're now back to getting all of our military power, which is actually a hell of a lot. We are... I think we're ahead of time on military tech. Yeah, 10 years ahead of time, so we're not going to be upgrading that anytime soon. Next upgrade is the cannon, though, the limber. So that could make us quite a formidable opponent, really. Yeah, so the Venetian army is going to win that, quite surprisingly. I thought Austria would, but Napoli is now part of our patrimony, so that's cool. We can change the culture, but it would just cost so much, and I'm not quite sure why it costs so much. I'd guess because of the base tax, which is quite large, really. Now I would like to fabricate some sort of claim on these guys. Maybe the province of... I think we'll do it on Lucania, because that's the least risk of discovery every month. Yeah, we're going to fabricate a claim on there, and we're going to take over Sicily, hopefully. And because it's towards the south of Italy, aggressive expansion should not be so high around this sort of area, the Savoyan and the Milanese area. They still do hate us, but they won't hate us as much, hopefully. Now we have some sort of lollard. I think we're going to spend military power. That's only five months worth of military power, so I'm not too worried about that. At some point it'd be quite nice to eat up the Papal State. I am making plans ahead of my time, and that's what you should do, really, I suppose, isn't it? I wouldn't mind all of Castile, no. We're going to form the Italian nation. We're going to try and keep to ourselves on the Italian, I suppose it's peninsula, isn't it? Have Morocco paid back this loan? I think Morocco just paid it back, actually. I didn't get any sort of casus belli against them or anything. They're quite an honourable. That's quite annoying. I could just take the stability hit and declare war against them without any real reason, which is a bit silly. Because that's, what, 300 administrative power just taken away just for the sake of a war. Which, I mean, war is nice, obviously, on this game, but it's not. I don't think it's worth that. At some point, now I've heard, this may be wrong, but I've heard if you say created a vassal, Naples, you get reduced aggressive expansion, which is very, very nice, but you also can then declare war on Sicily, say, because Naples has a core on a Sicilian province. I'm not going to try it out, I'm going to sort of look that up before next episode, but that's what I've heard. And that could be quite useful to us, because then we could take over all of southern Italy via Napoli, using Napoli as a sort of middleman, or Naples as a middleman, sorry, and then annex Naples, and then become absolutely huge, powerful, rich, whatever we want, really. I need to be rich to build that embassy, don't I? Yeah, Ferrero, you go for it. Have we got any diplomatic relations that I don't need? Because I always forget about these guys. The Papal State, military access. We do indeed. So access cancel, yep. Our general is dead, so we can hire another one. Our army tradition is quite awful, really. Our agent has been discovered. I'm not too worried about that. They're our enemy anyway, so... It is quite annoying, though. Urbino has left the military coalition against us. Nice, nice, nice. So that means, as you can see, our aggressive expansion is reducing over time. Hopefully everyone will love us very soon. I think I'm gonna... I'll leave it going a bit. I'll put it on 5 speed. And then the claim will be fabricated and everything will be set up for all-out war. We're going to choose to lose admin power over prestige for obvious reasons, because prestige is really hard to regain once it's low. And when's this damn claim going to be finished? Quite some time, actually. Once we've taken Abruzzi, then we can take Bari, then we can take Lucena, then we can take Salento, then we can take Calabria, then we can take Messina, then Malta, and then they'll have one province, and we'll take that, and we will own, you know, all of southern Italy. That's what I hope will happen anyway. It's the best laid plans don't always work. We can start to invest in the Pope very soon, actually. I think we will now. We'll try and take this guy off Mecklenburg, Maxleden, because as you get more provinces, you get more papal influence points, which means you can, you know, compete with the bigger powers. We have gained the conquest casus belli against Sicily. Very, very nice. Before we declare war, though... actually, I'll take that back. We're just going to declare war. They're allied with who? Bosnia and Milan. Bosnia, tiny, 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 and Milan, tiny, tiny, tiny. If we declared war against them now, we would be breaking a truce. We would be breaking a bloody truce. I forgot about that. Now we need to start fabricating on some other person. The Papal State, I think, is what we're going to do. The Papal State, Roma. Yep. We're going to wait until the 1st of November next year. I really forgot about that truce. I should look about that. I should look at that more often. I've still got a truce with Aragon going on from what feels like quite a long time ago, but I've obviously let it run quite slowly, so it feels like a while ago. I have lots of money, so I think I might build some buildings. A temple, temple, temple. Seems useful. And then a temple in these 2 provinces, I think. Now that's taken a hell of a lot of our money, actually. More than I thought it would, but it means that our economy will, we'll get more money per month after everything's built. Those being built should coincide quite, not completely, but they should coincide quite nicely with our fabricating a claim on Roma. We've been discovered. That's not great. That is not great. Now what? Now Sicily are at war with the Papal State, and the Sicilian conquest of Roma. Aggravating. Very aggravating, actually. So that means the Papal State will cease to exist, I guess. Although, I think the Conqueror gets an event where they can either release Rome and gain prestige, or keep Rome and lose opinion from loads of other, well, basically all the Catholic countries in the world. I think that's what it is. Why isn't that Sicilian army moving across? It seems like the AI are kind of derping out at the moment, but I'm not sure. We have claims on what? Ancona and Luccia. Both of them we can't really press. Oh, I need to wait until 1459, for heaven's sake. Oh lord. This could take some time. It's very slow when you're such a small nation, because you don't want to risk aggravating other big nations. Like, I would take Urbino, but then Hungary, which is huge and has, massive armies, is going to dislike me and attack me. I do have the backing of France and Burgundy, actually. Let's have a look who else I'm allied with. Yeah, France, Burgundy, and then Tuscany, which actually has a decent army for such a small nation. I do have the backing of all those countries, but then, things could go wrong and they could just siege all my provinces and I could lose. I have a Conquest Cassius Belli, which is nice. I'm going to end it there, I think, the episode. Actually, I'll end it when these temples are finished. Then it's all sort of clean and ready to go. Our monthly balance should increase by like 0.5, I think, of a gold. It doesn't seem like much, but over time it really does add up. Okay. Maybe we're not going to contend with the big nations yet on the papal influence table, but we will try. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to end this episode, and then I'm going to skip forward to the 3rd of January 1459. And then we can get going with our wars, really, can't we? So, yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Please do like and subscribe, it helps me a ton. So, thanks for watching, see you next time.